Good afternoon, Facebook. How is everyone today? I'm trying to get this phone situated. And I know we have some glare happening. Okay. And we have a special guest coming on with us today. Glare. Welcome, guys. We are going to be welcoming in. Hey, Asha, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so awesome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our lunchtime Facebook Live chat.
I love it already.
I'm so excited, yet I'm super nervous because I sit here wanting to interview the interviewer. Hello.
Don't worry about that.
Who does that? Well, many people, but you know, this is not my profession. This is something I just love to do, especially we're honoring you and many professional women for the month of March, for Women's History Month. So we salute you for the work that you do. I'm just going to give the folks watching live on the replay, please share this broadcast. I am Marsha Guerriere, the founder of Women on the Rise. Thank you for tuning in today for our special live chat with Miss Asha McKenzie.
Hello.
I'm just going to read your bio so
Okay.
people can know. In case they don't know, now they're going to know. So, you are an Associated Press award-winning journalist. Okay. She has joined the News12 team in May of 2016 as an anchor reporter. That is News12 here in the tri-state local area, New York City, whoop, whoop, Bronx and Brooklyn.
Represent.
Represent. Asha graduated cum laude from Montclair State University with a Bachelor's of Arts degree. Before coming to News12, Asha was an anchor and reporter at WENY News in Elmira.
Yes, Elmira, New York. It's all the way upstate. Yeah.
Way like Buffalo, like
way. It's like halfway to Syracuse.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. Halfway to. It's not okay. That's not too bad. You also worked as a desk assistant at WABC TV, yes. While at WNY, you won two, not one, first place New York Associated Press Awards for General Excellence in Reporting and Best Interview. Congratulations for those two accolades. You also, it says here that you were born and raised in New Jersey, tri-state area. Thank you. And you come from a huge Jamaican family. I know all about those Caribbean roots. You're excited to be closer to your loved ones in New Jersey and the Bronx, and you're looking forward to exploring the Bronx and Brooklyn. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you. I've been watching you. I live in Long Island.
Okay.
But I call it stateside. In the city, I could be anywhere, a friend's house, family's house, and you are on the air.
Oh.
And like, how many hours do they work in local TV?
We loop. It's cable, so it's we have the live show, and then we loop. I know people are like, "Do you sleep?" I'm like, "I promise I do. 3 hours maybe, but I sleep."
Oh my goodness. It is so great to see you in our local area. I wish you could be on that national broadcast, syndicated all over the place, but it's important for us to be able to see images like ourselves.
I agree.
In the news, especially local news. So I appreciate you for being here in our town. I would love to talk to you about, it says that you won first prize for best interview. Tell me, who did you interview?
Got it. So it actually was a really sad story that I won it for. This woman lost her son. He was murdered. It was up in Elmira. And she was just talking about the case and talking about what happened to her. And it was just one of those stories where it's like she was so open with me, and I was so appreciative that it really wasn't me who was telling her story. It was her who was telling her own story about her child. And it was just interesting to win best interview for something like that, because I feel like I didn't do much. It's not my story, but I guess I told it to the best of my ability. And the lady was just so open about it. So that was what I won Best Interview for. As for general excellence in reporting, that was just overall compilation of my work that I put together. And I sent it out to the Associated Press. And I guess they liked me that year. So
awesome. You should send one every year.
Oh,
it's hard. How do you celebrate such a somber win, right? With that Best Interview being such a tragic event. How do you, I often wonder, because I have to turn the news off. Just like we have to plug our phones in the evening because of this addiction we have with our smartphones. I have to unplug from the news, and I have a rule. My friends know, I don't want to talk about tragedy after dark. I have an after dark. I can't put that into my spirit all day, all evening. How do you manage those emotions and what you're reporting on?
Some days it's hard, and I can't even lie. There was a huge story out of Brooklyn yesterday where 4 people were found shot dead in an apartment. And I had to do the breaking news cut-in on it on the anchor desk while one of our reporters were out in the field talking about it. And at first, you're just like, okay, 4 people shot. You're trying to get all the information, figure it out. Then you hear that a 1-year-old was shot. And then you put in perspective that I have 1-year-olds in my family. I have 1-year-olds that I love. I have people that I love. And these are 4 people from one family who will not be here today. And after I finish my cut-in, cut-in basically in news is where you cut into regular programming and you talk about the breaking news that's happening, in case anybody doesn't know. And afterwards you sit and you think about the story. It's difficult. And that's when you know you have to be truthful and be honest, as the news is, to tell their story to the best of your ability, what happened and what went on. And you try to decompress, and you really just remember those you love, because you never know the circumstances behind these really hard stories. Because I'm not gonna lie, when you're doing them, you're in the mode, you're in the zone, it's work. But I think when you settle and when you kind of just go home and you reflect on the day, you realize this is not just another story. This is not just another shooting. These are people. And I think a lot of journalists like myself, we have a heart, and those are the ones that are good and do a good job in telling stories, because in any profession, there are people who don't care. And I think, unfortunately, sometimes people just see this as this could be an Emmy or this could be that. But I think the best stories are told when the journalist has a heart for the people who are affected. So sometimes it's hard.
It brings up a question that I often think people see and consider what they consider the glamorous part of being an anchor or journalist on TV. Like, oh my God, you're on TV. That's awesome. Yeah. But how did you decide, when did you decide to become a journalist, and that you knew you wanted to be in people's homes every day?
Well, it's really funny because I personally don't think there's anything glamorous about TV.
Right?
Well, funny story. So when I was in college, I was undecided for my freshman year, first semester. So I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Love the news, but I also sing. So I wanted to think about doing musical theater. So I was like, okay, let me balance out these 2 things. I chose journalism because it's just, to be honest, I thought it would be more lucrative just for a career of growing. And I really enjoyed the news growing up. So it was like, I definitely want to go on the TV. So I would do singing on the side at church or different things like that. So as I was going through, I never thought I wanted to be on air. So on air was never even a thought. So for me, it was just behind the scenes, because like you said, seeing yourself on TV, I didn't see a lot of me. So I didn't know. I thought I had to have blonde hair and be very tiny, and I'm neither of those things. So it was hard to fathom me being on an anchor desk because there was no representation really for me. So I went through college, did some on-air stuff in college because, we have like a rotation. And when I graduated college at that time, I was filling in at MTV because I had interned there. And I was like, oh, entertainment, that kind of part of media. One of my really good friends, who's also a reporter in New York City, she was a desk assistant at WABC before I was. And she was going on to a job at News12 to be a reporter. So she was like, hey, my position's open at WABC. Do you want it? I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if that's for me. Well, God had a totally different plan, clearly, because I took the job and I was there for 1.5 years. This was right after Superstorm Sandy, so October of 2012. And I was there till 2014. And while I was there, I met people who I look up to today that look like me, Darla Miles and Tony Yates. And I was just like, even Michelle Charlesworth, who has a similar personality to me, these 3 women that I saw, and I was just like, I can do this. Like, these women remind me of myself. So while I was there, I worked on my reporter reel with my mentor, Phil Lipoff, who used to be an anchor in New York. He's now an anchor in Boston. And I applied to on-air jobs. And I got one in Elmira, New York. That was my first start in 2014 on air. And from there, I grew. So it wasn't like I woke up one morning, I was like, I'm going to be an anchor. Right. No, I went to Elmira as a reporter, and then somebody left. And then they asked me if I want to fill in anchoring for the 11 o'clock news. I said, sure. And then I kept anchoring the 11 o'clock news for like a year. And after that, I applied to News12, and here we are.
What I love about your story is that it shows that you try to balance both areas of your life, right? The music aspect and possibly the behind the scenes of journalism part. And what I love is that you kept your eye and you kept your mindset on fulfilling both of those needs and desires, right? So I speak about that often with women and trying to get them to get clear on what they want. And they know that they want to, that they have a love and passion in different areas and know how to kind of put them all together. But just doing something in one of those areas allow you to pursue and to grow and expand your reach and expand. And another thing I heard you say, which I also love, is that networked your way to where you are today. You met the right people. We talk about networking all the time. We talk about positioning yourself to meet the right people that will help you move in, even if you don't know where that is, but to be an open person and to allow people into your space to help you kind of learn who you are is so important, right? Yeah. It's so important. So I appreciate that you shared that part of your story with us. And it's really great for people to see. You also mentioned that, you know, you didn't see yourself and now you became that person. So thank you for giving us that for our young children, for our young girls out there deciding whether they want to be in the public figure, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. And even in this day and age, I feel like, especially, I've heard someone say there's no better time to be brown than right now. And I truly believe,
that's what I hear.
Yeah. And I know there's so much against us and so much happening right now, but the way I see so many people that look like me and look like you rising to the top, it almost makes me emotional, because we are doing what our forefathers wanted us to do. And it feels so good to be able to be one of those people that are doing it. And I'm sure yourself as well. We have an avenue where little girls, little boys who could look like us can persevere and be amazing because they see us doing it. And that just makes me so happy. I get so many messages from moms who are like, my daughter loves you, and that means more to me than any accolade or Emmy or anything like that. Like, I'm going to tear up now, but it really means a lot to me, because at the end of the day, awards don't matter. Yeah. They're great to have, but
we like them.
Yeah, we love them. And they matter. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you can inspire, I think that matters.
You're so right. Even in my business as a coach, I often want to give up. I want to give up the business. And I'm like, you know, maybe this is not for me. Yeah. And then I turn around and I get that one person and that one client that says how much I've helped them overcome something, how much I've helped them get clarity on where they are in their lives and where they are going. It makes a difference in why I know that what you and I are doing in this world is so important for our community. So kudos to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So Asha, tell us what is next for you. Do you have a next? Do you have what's your dream for tomorrow?
Wow, that's something I'm figuring out now. Local news is changing. People are ingesting it differently. So I'm just looking at opportunities to just cast my net very wide. I come from a very big family. I have 5 siblings, and all of them are just like, cast your net wide. You don't know where you're going to go, what's going to happen. So I'm just looking to break through maybe in the digital world, or even expanding into more local TV news. That's something I'm still trying to figure out right now, because I feel like everything is changing and you have to change with it. So if anybody else has ideas for me, let me know. But I'm trying to figure out different opportunities for myself where I can keep that excitement and that love for what I do without feeling stagnant. So right now, that's the plan, just taking it day by day and making sure I'm branding myself to properly get where I need to be towards the end. So I don't have any definite answer.
You more. We'd love to see you more here on Facebook Live. Tell us where they could find you as you are growing and expanding your net and reaching your expanding your brand. Tell everyone where they could find you on all social media platforms.
Sure. So my Instagram account, where I'm very active, is Asha, ASHA, reports. My Twitter is McKenzie_M. That's a lie. My name is McKenzie_news on Twitter. And on Facebook, I'm just Asha McKenzie. You can find me.
And let me just tell everyone, all I did was they're probably like, people think I know a lot of people. I really don't. People like, oh my God, you know everybody. Not really. I reached out to you.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying yes. I've been following you on Instagram, because that's where the hot spot is, right? And I just reached out to you because I love your spirit when I watch you on News 12. You have and your little GIFs, as they call them, when you do your videos. You and your team, you guys look so so warm, and you guys are always really. You just look like a really nice group of people.
They're good people. They're good people.
Yeah. It seems like you have a great environment, and we wish you so much success in your career and hitting that next level. And we'll be waiting for you and watching you wherever it is you end up.
Thank you.
If things are changing in News 12, we don't know. I know they do change often in especially the local channels. So we look forward to seeing you on that. Call ABC back.
We'll see. And I wish you the best as well, of course.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate your time this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
And we'll be watching for you on social media.
Perfect. Feel free to hit me up again anytime.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.